Please remain standing for the invocation.
O Heavenly Father Jehovah, we thank you because you are merciful. We come before you with thankful hearts as those we love and care for will be graduating today. We thank you for giving each student the ability required for this wonderful accomplishment. We thank you for carrying these students throughout their school years, and I pray that you will continue to be with them as they head into a new era in their lives. Lord, we thank you for being in their forefront and directing every choice that they had to make back to you. Whatever decision they have made for the next step, whether college or the working world, be the driving force, Lord, that we keep them headed in the right direction. We also thank you for the teachers who taught them and also challenged them along the way. We rejoice with those that met the challenge and kept the faith to the commitment of their studies. But we also want to remember those that were not successful. Give them an understanding that all is not lost and grant them focus and direction, and then give them strength, Lord, to continue to endure. I pray that the students will continue to feel your presence as they move on into their future ventures. I ask for your guidance to go before them, and as they face decisions, give them a spirit of discernment. Lord, keep them safe and protected. May they never become distracted from their goals, Father, and the one who helped and guided them thus far, you. I ask, Lord, that you shower their family and friends with blessings and love as they celebrate with them. I pray that the graduates will continue growing to live lives blessed with your presence and purpose. Now as these proceedings come to order, Lord, I pray that everything will be done in order. Amen.
Amen. Premier and Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. D. Orlando Smith, OBE, and Mrs. Lorna Smith. Deputy Premier, Minister for Natural Resources and Labor, and Representative for the 7th District, the Honorable Dr. Kedrick D. Pickren and Mrs. Alice Pickren. Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Ronnie W. Skelton and Mrs. Janice Skelton. Minister for Communication and Works and 4th District Representative, the Honorable Mark Vanterpool. Minister for Education and Culture, the Honorable Myron V. Walwyn and Mrs. Judith Walwyn. Representative for the 1st District, Honorable Andrew Foy and Mrs. Sheila Foy. Representative for the 6th District, Honorable Alvaro Maduro Keynes and Mr. Emmett Keynes. Representative for the 8th District, Honorable Marlon A. Penn. Territorial Representative, Honorable Archibald Christian and Mrs. Representative for the 2nd District, Honorable Melvin Turnbull and Mrs. Joel Turnbull. Cabinet Secretary, Sandra Ward. Other distinguished guests, ministers of government and officials, good afternoon. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 21:11-13. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kaiser Penn, proud alumni of the BVI High School class of 1995. I am extremely honored for the opportunity to be your chairperson for this afternoon's ceremony. I take this opportunity to thank my fellow alumni of the class of 1995 voting me to chair this extraordinary moment in the history of second education in the BVI. As we all know, it is graduation season. In this our beloved territory, I for certain look forward to this time of each year with much joy. Being the mother of 4, I look forward to being able to shift into slow gear after operating on overdrive throughout the school year. Most importantly, why I look forward to this season, and I am certain many of you will share this very sentiment, and it is simply that this time of the year is the season of reaping. It's harvesting time. It is a time that we get to stop just for a moment to recognize and reap the rewards of hard work. Students, teachers, parents, and I will be bold enough to say the entire territory is focused from September to May, working hard and diligently towards the goal of advancing our students, our children, to the next level, the next step. It is at this time that we stop to recognize and celebrate dedication, hard work, commitment, sacrifice, endurance, progress, a load of sweat, many tears, I'm certain, and perhaps a few specks of blood. We are here to recognize, celebrate, and congratulate our government, education officials, teachers, parents, siblings, families, friends, and most importantly, the 178 students of the 2015 Elmore Stout High School graduating class. Today is not the end, but is the end of the beginning of the journey. It is the end of the first act. You have toiled for many years, and today we are here with you to recognize and applaud you as you take your bow before moving on to the next act. Today is also an extraordinary day, not only because we are here to celebrate the talented and bright students that make up this class, but also it is because this is the final fifth form in the history of the Elmore Stout High School. Today is the end of what used to be and is the beginning of a new era in our education system. I am certain that the Honorable Minister for Education and Culture and the acting principal may speak to this a bit more in their address. So I will pause here before I find myself in uncharted waters. But I will end by saying that I'm extremely proud of our students and look forward to recognizing this day with them. At this point, I will welcome to the podium the salutatorian, Mr. Revon Sprav, to do the welcome.
Of the 178 ESHS graduates that sit before me, approximately 85% of them have congratulated me on being a salutatorian, then immediately acknowledged me to be brief. Guys, this for you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I would also like to add good evening, which may be accurate by the time I finish this speech. I acknowledge the protocol previously established. Welcome to all graduation. The class of 2015 is honored to have you come and celebrate with us and welcome us into the world of work and our tertiary education. We have prayed long and hard for this day to come, and our God has blessed us indefinitely. We welcome His presence. The government of the Virgin Islands has invested in us. We welcome you. Our principal, the lovely Mrs. Underhill, and all the assistant principals, and all the assistant principals who work so hard to make our campus a bastion of learning. Welcome. Welcome to all of our teachers, especially Ms. Talicia Richards, our year here, who has laughed and cried with us. We are so glad we could share this day with you. Welcome to all of our faculty and staff who have helped us along the way. And last, but definitely not least, I would like our audience to help me welcome the last graduating ESHS fifth form class. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, because there's a lot of you. I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us, participating with us in this momentous occasion of our young, well, mostly young lives. I especially would like to thank all of our parents and guardians. Without you, many of us would not have made it this far. You are our backbone, and sometimes our headache. But regardless, we love you, and I would like to say thank you. My parents, Gretel and Elton Sproul, and my sister, and my granny, and my great aunt, pushed me, nagged me, stood by me, and I know all my classmates can relate to that. This past year was a blast, for the most part. Some moments were exciting and emotional, but others were like, wow, I'm sick of school now. We experienced so many unique adventures. For example, fine dining, believe it or not. Eating chicken under the tent with a local chicken, and gracefully balancing a cup of juice in one hand while using the other to fend off curious bees. We learned grace under pressure, how to smile and act nonchalant as our bodies succumb to the gravitational pull of the earth. And I knew it wasn't only me. We learned all sorts of interesting things in our 5 years of high school, but mostly non-school related. After third form, school became more about helping us to find what we want to do with our lives. It was about finding what we love and loving what we do. Some of us may not have found this passion as yet, and I pray that you will soon. But I know I have found mine in basketball and automotive technology. They both have their unique challenges, but share similar qualities. They teach me to aspire to be the best that I could be, and good things will follow. They both are more slightly mentally challenging than physical. They build swift problem-solving skills and cost-to-benefit analysis skills. These aspects of both basketball and automotive technology make me love what I do. I would really like to share some of the jokes that Mr. Smith was saying in the auto shop, but this may not be the right venue. I must say that Mr. Smith did everything in his power to keep everything clean. Many of us are here sitting at this ceremony, sweating under this fashionable cap and figure-enhancing gown, reflecting on the combination of laughter and struggle of learning and loss that has embodied our years at ESHS. We all welcome you as you share with us in this wonderful event. ESHS 2015 graduating class is ready to break free. We are ready to explore what's next for us. We will take off these caps, fix our hair, and begin again. Welcome to our beginning. Wait, hold on. I seem to have come to the end of my speech and still got time. Okay. I could go on for another hour, but okay. All I have left to say is the ESHS 2015 graduating class welcomes one and all. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Sprague, for your words of welcome. I also wish to recognize the presence of Honorable Julian Fraser, Acting Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillip, Acting Deputy Chief Education Officer, Dr. Laverne Chowell Bruley, the Acting Principal for the Elmore South High School, Thunderhill, and the graduating classes of 1985, 1995, and 2005. At this point in our program, I would like to welcome to the podium for congratulatory remarks, Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, our Premier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister of Education, other ministers of government, and members of the House of Assembly, principal and educators, families, graduates, good afternoon. I join in congratulating you, the 2015 graduating class of the Elmore South High School, on today's triumph. For 5 years, we have faced a mammoth task, taking each form a step at a time to be here to celebrate success this afternoon. You have successfully jumped each hurdle, and now we are going forward into real life with another great story to tell. I know that success is not easy to achieve, as it requires dedication, hard work, ability, and drive. There were times when you had to study for long periods, but look at where you are now. There were times when you had to step back from fun and excitement, immerse yourselves in different books of knowledge, but look at where you are now. There are times when you had to say to friends, I'll catch up with you some other time, but look at where you are now. All of these pauses had to happen. In fact, they were necessary because success comes with a price. The price of remaining steadfast and focused in the midst of noise and not allowing your best selves to be sidetracked by all that life has to offer. Graduates, you're not here by chance. You're here by determination. In fact, your determination is a testimony that you understand the value of education in this highly competitive world. And so you sit here today, very vibrant and smashing, in your blue gowns and caps, fit and ready to turn your tassels to say hello to a new world. As you go forward, I wish to remind you that the overarching goal of education is to contribute to the socio-economic advancement of the Virgin Islands. That is why my government has been driving home the salient message of creating a culture of excellence. In the words of a territorial song, educating our people is the golden key to maintain the success of our territory. You see, as a government, we recognize that the quality education that enables learners of all ages to excel can only result in positive growth and progress in this territory. I've asked the Minister of Education to continue to further strengthen programs and introduce new ones to ensure that the vision for education in the territory is realized. I've also charged them with placing greater emphasis on ensuring that all public schools in the territory have the essential competencies and the foundation of all subjects to prepare all of our people for a Virgin Island that is progressive and strong. Graduates, you may be regarding today as the biggest achievement in your lives, but I implore you to look at it as a catalyst for many future achievements, as you're now better equipped to face the world of work and to continue your studies. As you transition, I want you to think educational advancement, whether it's academically or technically. The world of there is an increasing thirst for thinkers, innovators, doers, and action-oriented talent. This territory is calling for local talent with global perspectives, dynamic professional people who can be flexible and who can adapt to any emerging trend. The ESHS Community College is an excellent start in that process. It is a place where your future can begin, a place where learning opportunities are enhanced, where career passions are harnessed, where professional development leads to personal enrichment. Graduates, as you move forward, take the next giant step. I want you to think about what you can add new and different to the place we all call home. Just a few weeks ago, I said to the graduates of the ESHS Community College, they're there to think outside the box and to think creatively about how their areas of interest could help deepen and broaden the BVI economy. I'm now asking you to do the same. As you think about your degrees in business, science, finance, management, industrial technology, for example, think about what niches are needed in the territory. Think beyond the ordinary. Be forward-thinking and think about what are those things that are uniquely changing our world. Think about what the economy is demanding, what are employers seeking, and think about what skills and talents are being imported, and position yourself to take up the mantle, because this territory is yours tomorrow. That is why you are preparing today. So as you seek to pursue tertiary education, remember the long-term success of this territory is contingent on your commitment to its development. Now I need to go into the world of work. I want you to remember this. It is what my parents taught me, and I wish to share it with you to inspire you towards success. First, in any job that you do it willingly. Work as though competition is always there, and there is no one else fit for the job that you're doing. Secondly, take initiative. Yes, it may not be your company, but if you avail yourself, you can be certain that you will become an asset to that organization. So what I'm saying, graduates, in everything that you do, give it your all. Give it your best, but you never know where and how far that commitment will take you. So I encourage you to make the most of the opportunities and find ways to guide your own professional development. As you say goodbye to what was and say hello to a world where opportunities are abound, challenges are beckoning, and successes are bountiful, I'm confident that you have a strong foundation and will succeed through life. Do continue to lead on a strong support system that got you to where you are today. I commend your parents, teachers, friends, and mentors, all those who challenge you to believe in yourselves. Continue to hold fast to our children as they venture into the world. Equally, graduates, I encourage you therefore to listen to their sound advice, as the experience of your supporters can help to guide the many decisions you have to make later in life. Graduates, I want you to remember the power of prayer and the grace of God that is needed to guide you through life's journey. For those who are unsuccessful, do not lose hope, because we're not giving up on you. In life, there are curveballs and detours, but experience has taught me that a setback is another preparation for long-term success. Your goal now is to refocus and go again. There is an old saying that if you are building a house and the nail is broken, do not stop building. Do you stop building, or do you change the nail? I encourage you to choose the latter and remain positive. At this time, I also wish to especially congratulate the valedictorian, Christiana Bruley, and the salutatorian, Rayvon Sprout. Today is an extra triumph for you. Continue to excel and motivate your peers to do the same. 2015 graduating class of the Elmore South High School. Today, all 178 of you are going down in the history book as the last set of students who will be graduating from fifth form as we know today. You have a story to tell about how steps were taken to strengthen your education system for the best. Graduates, you have made it to this crossroad in your academic journey by demonstrating an unswavering commitment to excellence. And now you are prepared for unique experiences ahead. You have worked hard, you have remained focused, and you have persevered. Indeed, the future looks bright for this territory. I want you to remember that all of you now have a pivotal role to play in our territory's growth as we work together to build a stronger and more sustainable Virgin Islands. Now go out into this territory and in the world and make an enormous and exceptional difference. Congratulations again to all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Premier, for your words of congratulations, encouragement, and advice. I now welcome to the podium Principal Mrs. Sandy Underhill.
The Honorable Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. Deolando Smith and Mrs. Lorna Smith, the Honorable Deputy Premier and Minister of Natural Resources and Labor, Dr. Kedrick Pickering and Mrs. Alice Pickering, Minister of Communication and Works and representative of the 4th Electoral District, Honorable Mark Vanterpool and Mrs. Judith Vanterpool, Minister of Education and Culture, Honorable Myron V. Walwyn and Mrs. Judith Walwyn, Minister of Health and Social Development, Honorable Ronnie Skelton and Mrs. Janice Skelton, other members of the House of Assembly, Acting Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillip, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Dr. Lavon Chalwell Bruley, other education officers present, past principals, present principals of the Elmo Stout High School, staff, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my amazing and awesome class of 2015. Pleasant good afternoon. I would like to also acknowledge my Madam Chairperson, Ms. Kaiser Penn. Pleasant good afternoon to all. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you this afternoon to give my congratulatory remarks and to report on the institution's progress. This is a historical graduation ceremony. It is the last using the title Fifth Form and is my first as acting principal of Elmo Stout High School. This class of 2015 will go down in history as the last Fifth Form class of the Elmo Stout High School, and that is worth mentioning. Parents, please allow me to take ownership of your children just one last time as I consider each of them my children too. And I am so very proud of their accomplishments on this momentous day. They stood tall in the face of many challenges, and they were triumphant. And for that, we must all be proud. Graduates, I want to encourage each of you to continue on your educational journey, and remember that high school is just the beginning. There certainly will be challenges, but you must never give up. Remember to give back to your community and to your school, for it is in giving back that you receive life's greatest blessings. Don't selfishly ask, what can my territory do for me? Instead, ask, what can I do for my territory? Service above self leads to the greatest rewards. Believe that you can do whatever you set your minds on and go after it with everything that you have. And with everything you do, remember that spirituality should be your foundation. Belief and faith in God and in humanity. Never believe that you are bigger than others. This attitude will only slow down your progress and growth. Instead, serve others with respect, humility, and grace. Whether you become doctors, lawyers, educators, politicians, or the like, no matter how much money you earn, remember that what others remember most about you is your kindness, your service, and your respect for humanity. Making positive human connections, lasting connections, being kind, selfless, and giving to others are the attributes that are remembered most. And this is the foundation of my message this afternoon. Though faced with many challenges for the 2014-2015 school year, the resilient spirit of the Elmo Stout High School faculty, staff, and students brought great achievements that far outweighed these challenges. In PE and sports, the Lent term brought many successes in the various sporting events. Our ESHS Ram girls and boys varsity junior and senior teams put Elmo Stout High School on the map at tournaments held in the US Virgin Islands, breaking records that have been untouched for 10 years. Our senior varsity boys won the championship game in our own sponsored local tournament against the U.S. Virgin Islands teams. Our teams also prevailed in soccer, baseball, and softball. Not only have these accomplishments enhanced our students' attitudes, but they have also led to marked improvements in our students, both academically and physically. Many received scholarships, offers, and opportunities to play in tournaments in the United States. Additionally, we had 2 successful sports days in March and hosted the first ever inter-house cheerleading competition, which was a huge success. Letsome House 1 reclaimed their title of track and field champions this year, and Carlisle House 4 are the first champions of the cheerleading competition. We are also proud to announce the first ESHS Drum Corps under the leadership of Mr. Ronnie Crawford, Mr. Nehasi Chalwell, Ms. Casey Ann Cricky, and Mr. Steve Parolon. The Drum Corps performed at the cheerleading competition and dazzled the audience. In addition to the accomplishments aimed at building our athletic program at ESHS, there were several academic accomplishments. The Literary and Debating Society participated in the Virgin Islands Secondary School Debating Competition, and ESHS won for the 2nd consecutive year, also capturing the Best Speaker Award. We participated in the World Science Day competition, which was hosted by UNESCO, and won prizes in every category. We also participated in NAGICO's Regional Art Competition, where one of our students, Kashif Bradshaw, was one of the 12 winners, and we are expected to be featured in the 2016 regional calendar featuring the name of the school and country. We also competed in the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association essay competition in the senior division, and this competition was won by Leah Burke. Our 4-H club participated in the Agricultural Fair 2015 and won 1st and 2nd places for cakes depicting agriculture. They also placed 1st and 2nd places for the best straw handbag in the artwork segment. Maya Bazaar, a 10th grade student, competed and won the Tourist Board's Junior Tourism Minister competition, and this is our 3rd consecutive win of this title. The Royal School of Music results are as follows. In the music theory category for November 2014, 16 students sat grade 5, 14 were successful with 16 merits, 8 passes, and 2 students sat the exam at the grade 4 level and both passed. In the practical music category held in May 2015, 19 entered with 100% passes. We had 1 grade 6, and I must mention here that this is above our usual requirements, so that is above and beyond what we normally do. 18 grade 5, 6 distinctions with 6 merits and 7 passes. Please note that grade 5 is the highest level of this exam. In addition to our athletic and academic accomplishments, we also celebrated a successful cultural day on November 10, 2014, which was well attended by honorees and other officials. Library Week from April 20th to 24th, under the theme Creative Ways of Depicting Libraries Through Art, Music, and Storytelling. For the first time this year, our senior students had to participate in the Ministry of Education's mandate for the National Student Citizen Community Service Program. Students were able to provide service to their school and the wider community. To meet the requirements for graduation, students were required to complete 120 hours of community service in addition to passing the 5 subjects. We are pleased to announce today that we have 100% of our students meeting this requirement. Additionally, we are proud to announce that ESHS has participated in the National Youth Policy, an initiative of the Minister of Education and Culture. This policy provides guidance for the development of the territory's youth to enable the entire youth population of the territory to inherit the leadership of the Virgin Islands. We are also pleased to announce that our annual ESHS Echoes magazine is ready for publication, and a draft of this magazine will be presented to the Minister of Education and Culture at the end of my remarks. Bridging the gap between the school and the community was one of our transformational goals for ESHS, and we are pleased to announce today the establishment of a 15-member PTA who has been working tirelessly in this regard through their FRESH initiative, successful village PTAs, and several other ongoing initiatives, such as campus beautification, changing the public's perception, and adopting a department. Through the community outreach efforts of the PTA, we have received an overwhelming amount of support from community organizations such as the Rotary Club, Rotaract Club, Point One, Showtime Band, and many, many others. Additionally, intervention groups such as Male, Lionheart, or Boxing Club have also pledged their continued support. In addition to our accomplishments, we have implemented several new initiatives which are aimed at addressing disciplinary issues, safety concerns, or the public's perception of the school. Action committees were established at the beginning of the school year to facilitate the following initiatives: a welcoming team, teachers meeting and greeting students, campus monitoring, lunch monitoring, procedures for delays, truancy, and attendance, updating of the student handbook and discipline protocol, detention procedures, in-school suspension procedures, and finally, an emergency protocol system in collaboration with DDM and the Red Cross. In conclusion, the new year will bring continued transformation to ESHS. Together with the Ministry of Education and our awesome PTA, we have accomplished a great deal, but there is still much work to be done. We continue to assert that ESHS is everybody's school. The future of this territory rests on the success of this institution. And for this reason, we must continue to work collaboratively to realize its goals and its success. Finally, graduates, remember the words from my farewell letter to you. I am elated that you have made it. Your achievement is a testament that hard work does pay off. I am so very proud of you. Please do not forget us. Our doors will always be open to you. Don't forget to give God the glory and to thank your parents for their unwavering support. Once again, I congratulate you and wish you every success. You will always have a place at ESHS and forever be in my heart. Thank you. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the following teacher retirees. I'm going to ask you to please stand and be acknowledged for your hard work and dedication to the institution. As I call your name, please stand. Ms. Camille Gomes. Ms. Camille Gomes has served for 32 years at this institution. Please remain standing, Ms. Gomes. Thank you. Just oblige me this afternoon. Ms. Ideen Smith. Please put your hands together. 33 years, 33 years. Ms. Genevieve Newman, 13 years. Mrs. Angelita Bernard, 29 years. Ms. Nyla Sator, 18 years. Please give them a round of applause as the administration, staff, thanks you and appreciates you for your hard work and dedication, and we will honor you in a bigger way later this evening. Thank you so much. I would also like to recognize Ms. Glenda Stevens, who is leaving us to take on a bigger hat over in the Brigado Flax Educational Center as their new principal. We wish her the very best in her endeavors. Thank you so much. And now, audience, please allow me to take this opportunity to announce our book scholarships. I want to say at this point, we have received such an overwhelming amount of support from the community. I cannot stand here and call the names. There are 144 book scholarships awarded to our students this afternoon. That is 80% of the graduating class receiving book scholarships and awards. So what I will do is I will give a summary so that we can acknowledge the generous donors. We have 3 students receiving the Cyril B. Romney Memorial Award, 1 student receiving Ocean Conversion, 2 students SA Architect, 1 student Burke's Garage, 2 students Smith's Gore Award, 1 student Mr. and Mrs. Elton and Geraldine Colwood Award, 2 students the JNC Department Store Limited, 1 student Justin's, 1 student Kenneth Chalwell Memorial Award, 1 student receiving the Judith Correa Memorial, 2 students receiving the Trevor Gordon Memorial Award, 1 student will receive the Modern Construction Award, 1 student will receive the Honorable Archibald Christians Award, 1 student will receive Honorable Mark Vanterpool's Award, 1 student will receive Honorable Alvaro Maduro Keynes, 1 student the Honorable Andrew Foy, 2 students Honorable Ronnie Skelton, 2 students will receive the BCQS International Award, 2 students SND Security Award, 2 students will receive Honorable Dolores Christopher Award, 1 student Kendoy Penn Memorial Award, 1 student the Shayna Smith and Associates Award, 1 student will receive Coma Trading Award, 1 student the Neville Brathwaite Clare Arrow VI Award, 1 student will receive the Right to Read Award, 3 students the Unveiling Ministries Youth Explosion, 1 student Barnes PR, 5 students the National Bank of the Virgin Islands Award, 1 student will receive the ALS Marine Services Award, 2 students will receive Telecommunications Regulatory Commission Award, 1 student will receive the ZBVI Radio Station Award, 1 student will receive the Bargain Center and Wild Rose Furniture Store, 1 student the Scotia Bank Award, 1 student Crandall Building Services Award, 1 student will receive Play to Win Sports Store Award, 4 students will receive the Island Services Limited Award, 4 students will receive the Class of 1985 Award, 1 student Mrs. Irene Penn O'Neill Award, 5 students Class of 1995 Award, 1 student BVI Ports Authority, 1 student the Chantal Malone Award, 1 student will receive the ESHS Environmental Club Award, 1 student will receive Ayanna Hulls Award, 1 student Flaxcraft Award, 1 student Bambouche Lounge Award, 6 students James Todman Construction Limited Award, 2 students Summit Printing Award, 1 student Tortola Memorial Services Award, 2 students Village Key Hotel, Restaurant, and Marina Award, 1 student VI Motors Award, and 60 students, or first ever, from Mr. Albert Frett and Dr. Natalie Bruley, monetary awards for all of our top 48 students who will receive grade 1 certificates and the top 12 students who will receive grade 2 certificates. Put your hands together. That's 6-0.
Thank you.
For a total of 144 awards from our amazing community. In addition, for the first time ever, we have the BVI Tourist Board grant in an effort to promote tourism. They are awarding the student with the highest achievement in family and consumer science an award. I believe that there is a sample check here. Yes. And the check reads, it's to the order of Krista Grant. Krista, can you stand? It's a $2,500 donation. From the BVI Tourist Board. You can collect this later. Thank you. Krista Grant. Lastly, on my awards list, award from Ernst & Young for the top accounting student in the amount of $1,000, and this goes to Kiera Thomas. Please stand and be acknowledged. Please stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. And before I sit, we will do the EPA awards. And I will ask Mrs. Bruley to assist me. These are for the students who maintain an A average in every subject, every term, and every year from Forms 1 through 5 at the Elmo Stout High School. And these awards are as follows. Students, you are asked to please come and receive your award. Critania Bruley, our valedictorian. Rayvon Spraw, our salutatorian. Tayanja Donovan. And Hannah Gabrielle Ross. Congratulations to you all. And at this time, I would like to present the Minister of Education and Culture, the Honorable Myron V. Walwyn, with our second publication of the Echoes magazine.
Thank you, Principal Underhill, for your report and remarks. I must say that you and your staff are doing an awesome job, and we look forward to some of what you've reported on and the advancement of those initiatives. I also would like to say thank you for the community donors for the many rewards that were given to our students today. At this time, I invite to the podium to give remarks, congratulatory remarks, Honorable Myron V. Walwyn.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. The appropriate recognitions have already been made, but notwithstanding, of course, I must recognize the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Dr. Orlando Smith, my colleagues in the cabinet, and also my colleagues in the House of Assembly, all the members of the platform, the principal here at the Elmo Stout High School, and all the wonderful staff and faculty at that institution, parents, family, friends, graduates, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I made myself a promise, and I made you a promise last year, that we're going to have to find a way to work together to get this graduation ceremony under an hour and a half. So I want the record to reflect that for the second year in a row, I am doing my part in making sure that we achieve this objective. Within the 2015 graduating class of the Elmo Stout High School, there are 45 graduates who are eligible to receive scholarships pending their CXC-CSEC examination results. In alphabetical order, I am advised that those students are as follows, and that's the end of my speech for the record. And I will ask the students to stand as I call their names, and I will ask the audience to wait until at the very end, in the spirit of brevity, to give your applauses. I may get some of the names wrong, but I know you know who you are. Tawana Andrew. No, I thought that we were together. I said that we're going to hold our applauses until the end. Let's work together. Kewana Barnes, Micah Bazoo, or Mika Bazoo, Anik Benjamin. Now, I must say that these scholarships are subject to the students receiving at least 5 CXC subjects, inclusive of mathematics and English. And I want to recognize Ms. Benjamin because she's doing 10 CXC subjects. Judah Bertie, Anath Blyden, Gritana Bruley, who also did 10 CXC subjects, Maya Brown. Don't let me go to ask if that makes sense, you know. Jolisha Sedano, 10 subjects. Zara Corian, 11 subjects. Kyla Dawson, Tianja Donovan, Jacoya Foy, Elizabeth Faulkner, Krista Grant, Lenroy Grant, Diana Henry, Timori Hodge, Judy Jeremiah, Chenwy Lewis, Tyra Lewis, who did 10 CXCs, Jermaine Liebert, 10 CXCs, Jeremy Liebert, Zelanda Maduru, Shania Modest, Shanice Morgan with 11 CXCs, Miguel Nibs, Azari Norman, Jamari Ophelia, Malik Parker, Ashley Penn, Nakira Penn, Shakoi Penn, Kezia Pickering, Kadisha Rochester, Danrick Rouse, Anna Gabrielle Russ, Kimala Kitani Seeley, Adriel Singh, Selena Singh, Tejon Skelton, Ravon Sprav, Nikoi Stout, who also did 10 CXCs, Kiara Thomas, and Shante Walters. I want to ask you please to give our scholarship recipients, of course subject to the 5 CXCs, a round of applause. Will you please sit? And your class is a historical class, as you heard before, because you are the last to be called fifth form that will be doing a graduation ceremony. And of course, I'd like to tell the public, because of our change in the model to the K-12 model, there'll be no graduation ceremony next year. I want to wish you all the best in your endeavors. You were well trained by all your teachers and of course your parents. And I want you to also understand that you have an awesome responsibility to give back to this community that has done so much for you. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Excellent timing. We'll now have the Elmore Stout High School Band render a musical selection. Mr. Bratwood, thank you very much. And the senior concert band, that was awesome. You had the entire front row just dancing away. Thank you for that rendition. At this time, I'll introduce the keynote speaker, Miss Joy and Francis. Miss Joy Ann Francis received her primary education at the King Garden Bay Primary School, Portola, British Virgin Islands, now known as the Ivan Dawson Primary School, renamed in honor of her beloved late grandfather. After graduating from the BVI High School, now the Elmore South High School, in 1995, ranking third in her class at age 15, Joy pursued higher education at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, Florida, where she attained a Bachelor's of Science degree in finance and an MBA with a finance specialization in 1999 and 2001, respectively. During her tenure at UFC, she served as a graduate research and teaching assistant within the College of Business, a senior intern at the Small Business Development Center, and a board member of the Caribbean Students Association. She was also inducted to several honor societies, including the Financial Management Association Honor Society, Golden Key Honor National Society, and the John T. Washington Honor Society. Upon returning to the territory in 2001, she served as a finance lecturer and researcher at the H. Laverty Stout Community College, where she also attained a foundation certificate in international trust management and the Society of Trust and Estate Practitioners. Joy has worked full-time in the financial services industry since 2005, previously holding the position of Vice President and Manager of the Commercial Loans Division of a major commercial bank in the region. In 2013, she was appointed to the position of Chief Executive Officer of the National Bank of the Virgin Islands. Joy has always been intrigued by the Book of Proverbs. Her extracurricular interests includes observing financial markets, reading and writing poetry, listening to music, and enjoying time spent with friends and family, especially her 9-year-old son, Jamar, whose energy and wit provide for continuous inspiration. Please join me in welcoming to the lectern, Joy and Francis.
I respectfully recognize the protocol as already established. Good afternoon. 20 years ago, I sat where you are today, class of 2015, and regrettably, I do not remember many details from my graduation ceremony. However, upon reflection, I immediately recall two things. Firstly, the entire territory was in a state of shock over the then recent passing of the late Honorable H. Laverty Stout, the territory's first chief minister. He had passed suddenly in May 1995, a little over 1 month earlier, and as such, many of the day's speakers focused on Honorable Stout's fine legacy. On a lighter note, I also remembered hoping that I would not miss my hair appointment to get ready for prom later that evening, as I was really looking forward to prom night fun with my friends, including dancing with my tall, dark, and handsome prom date who's in the audience, but shall remain nameless for now. I thank the class of 1995 for their vote of confidence to deliver today's keynote address, and today is extra special for a number of them whose children are in today's group of graduates. We also reflect on fond memories of our classmates, Mr. Tariq Hussein and Ms. Aloma George, who have passed on from this life. Further to my class's nomination, I pondered on how I could make this exercise, and as a result, your special day more memorable. I prayed about it and I received this answer. Let the graduates hear themselves when they listen to you. Sometimes a speaker is challenged to inspire an audience, and in turn, that same audience turns out to be their greatest source of inspiration. I set out to conduct a few informal interviews with a cross-section of the class of 2015 in line with this year's graduation theme, which is Beyond Ordinary, Uniquely Changing Our World. I appreciate the students' candid responses and willingness to speak with me, and in turn, I've already promised them that I would not talk them to sleep. Just so you know, the graduates gave me natural responses when asked on the spot. They did not receive my questions in advance and were simply encouraged to be themselves, as there is no right or best response. So throughout my remarks, you will hear me quote and paraphrase feedback received from a few of the awesome graduates with whom we've come to celebrate today. When I asked Kiara Thomas of 5 Accounts about the term ordinary, she says that she thinks an ordinary person is just being themselves and doing whatever makes them feel comfortable. Although this interpretation of ordinary does not have a negative connotation, you are encouraged to surpass your normal level of comfort, to dream bigger, and then wake up and live out loud to realize those dreams and fulfill your life's purpose. The first person I spoke to was Miss Whitney Smith, also of 5 Accounts. A coincidence that I was also in that class. I asked Whitney, do you consider yourself beyond ordinary? If so, why? Whitney replied, and I quote, yes, I definitely think I am beyond ordinary. I don't do ordinary things, and I don't follow the same trends as everyone else. I rather find my own way or set my own personalized trend. So my first of 3 words of encouragement to the class of 2015 is this: go beyond ordinary, find your own way. When I speak of going beyond ordinary, I don't want you to limit your thinking just to the way you dress. Although understandably, it's an important component of your self-identification. I want you to think beyond ordinary. Using myself as an example, I literally cannot stomach the dissection of animals. Looking into microscopes, it makes me teary-eyed, and I had quite a few allergic reactions in the science lab. Yet, however, I recall facing intense pressure from many persons to enter the science field. So as a quick side note, I want to encourage the parents and the teachers to take the time to understand your children's unique gifts and talents and recognize that they may indeed differ from yours. I am grateful that my mother defended and supported my dream to enter the world of finance. In the end, with perseverance, we will find our own way to fulfill our true purpose in life. Class of 2015, you must develop the self-confidence and courage needed to take the necessary risks on your road to a bright and successful future. In the words of Mr. Jim Rohn, famous American author and motivational speaker, and I quote, if you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary, end quote. Going beyond ordinary requires some self-reflection, and some of you have already begun to master this step. When I asked Simori Hodge of 5 Motor Vehicles, what do you or what will you bring to the world that is unique? He responded with confidence, and I quote, I think that everyone is different and brings their own sense of creativity or style into what they do. I express my creativity most in mechanical work, and I definitely consider myself beyond ordinary, end quote. In response to the same question, Ms. Fifth Form 2015, Ms. Maya Brown of Informational Technology, I see you, Maya, feels that she offers the world a unique showcase of singing, acting, and a positive personality. Maya says, and I quote, I intend to use my talents as a gateway to encourage young people that failures are not the end. Dreams do and will become realities with strong determination, end quote. Now, I first saw Ms. Shane Winter of 5 Liberal Arts on stage at last week's Exit Night activities, and her all-star personality left a lasting impression on my mind. Shane said, quote, "I plan to bring a new definition to the world's success. I will impact the world by showing that success is not just about having the most money or the biggest job. It is also important to have a positive mindset and enjoy life." End quote. Well said, Shane. At age 16, my namesake, Miss Joy Victor of 5 Accounts, recently had the opportunity to serve on the first BVI ladies team to compete in the Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championship Games. Joy intends to use her unique skill set to put this territory on the map and change our world. So as we encourage the class of 2015, this leads me to my third and final point. Change starts within. Before we can realistically determine the changes needed in our world, we must identify the changes we need to make within ourselves. It takes a strong person to perform an honest self-critique. Kevon Watson of 5 Keyboarding said to me he would change the way he procrastinates, as he often waits until the last minute to get things done. He plans to develop an improved scheduling system. Randy Otley of 5 Information Technology admitted that he needs to adjust his tone of speech, as sometimes he comes across as sounding rather harsh when it is not his intention. Erichelle Paul thinks that she needs to change the way she looks at situations in life. She says that if she changes her attitude, she would be able to perceive opportunities in many different circumstances. Just yesterday, I sat on those bleachers with Mr. Kwame Todman. He said, and I quote, "If I could change one thing, it would be my appearance. Appearance is everything, so I would start by changing the way I dress. People judge you by your appearance without getting to know you. People have judged me," end quote. I didn't tell Kwame this yesterday, but his eyes spoke greater volumes than his words, and it immediately reminded me of the importance of youth mentors. Kwame, I have already identified a few young men from the class of 1995 to reach out to you. Rather than direct the class of 2015 to change certain things in the world, I was curious to know what they thought and observed about change. One change identified by this year's salutatorian, Ravon Sprav, was the need for unity amongst the nations of the world. He feels that if the world came together and collaborated on various fronts, many wars would not have been waged, which have resulted in so many people suffering. Ms. Kratanya Bruley, this year's valedictorian, is concerned about the drastic ways in which people often try to force change. She feels that before some changes are implemented, people need to explore all the factors that contribute to the underlying problems and issues. Now, if these young people aren't the epitome of insightful thinking, I do not know what is. You all have inspired me, and I hope that my brief address has been a source of encouragement to you. Indeed, great entrepreneurs, leaders, visionaries, and world changers sit amongst you. So class of 2015, in closing, be reminded to go beyond ordinary, find your own way. Identify and develop your unique God-given talents. And finally, remember that change starts within. Despite life's many challenges, step out on faith. Be confident that you indeed possess the ability to bring about the changes needed in this territory and the rest of the world. I thank you for your kind attention, and again, I congratulate you and wish you God's richest blessings.
Thank you, Ms. Francis, for not just sharing your thoughts and encouragement, but also sharing with us the thoughts and encouragement of our 2015 graduating class. I think this point on the program is perhaps the most important, and I will now invite Mrs. Julian Douglas Phillip, Acting Chief Education Officer, and other members and staff of the Elmore South High School for the presentation of the school leaving certificates.
Madam Chairman, Premier, Minister for Education and Culture, Acting Chief Education Officer, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. There are 178 students that have met the requirements for graduation, as stipulated by the Ministry and Department of Education. Of the 178 students, there are a total of 45 honor students and 3 high honor students. All students receiving honors and high honors, please stand and be recognized. Students, you may be seated. Could the graduating class of 2015 please stand? I now invite you, one at a time, to come forward and receive your certificate. Mrs. Julian Douglas Phillip, Acting Chief Education Officer, would you be kind enough to present each candidate a high school diploma as he or she comes forward? Abraham, Tiana Alfonso, Tiwana Andrew, Ronald Antoine, Shaquille Baptiste, Kiwana Barnes, Winstar Barry, Mika Basu, Shaquille Bell, Anik Benjamin, Latasia Bennett, Judah Bertie, Anath Blyden, Sadiq Bramble, Bianca Bruley, Titania Bruley, Maya Brown, Sharice Brown, Shawnette Byron, Tamika Calm, Rika Campbell, Julissa Sedano, Jonte Charles, Nicoya Sheltonham, Kalia Chukutu, Shakia Collins, Zara Corian, Giovanni Kroll, Ivana Crook, Edvern Crook, Shamra Cupid, Sorrel David, Shamoy Davis, Talia Davis, Kyla Dawson, D'Angelo Desmoulin, Kalisha Detouche, Jamari Donovan, Tay Andra Donovan, Sharita Dor, Joel Douglas, Kimberly Drummond, Kenisha Eddy, Eliezer Edwin Baez, Kiwana Emmanuel, Jacoya Foy, Elizabeth Faulkner, Dylan Findley, Kelshaw Fortune, Javelin Fret, Jamel Fret, Tafarai Fret, Renik Gravere, Kimoy George, William George, Denroy Gordon, Valik Graham, Krista Grant, Lenroy Grant, William Green the Fourth, Lornick Green, Nathan Hackshaw, Makeem Hastings, Kenroy Hazel Jr., Jaden Headlam, Diana Henry, Kimoya Hodge, Delana Hodge, Simori Hodge, Tayana Hodge, Nelda Huggins, Shanice James, Onika Jennings, Judy Jeremiah, Shante John, Dave Johnson, Kayla Joseph, Christopher Kisoon, Judy Lacey, Kimoya Lance, Ayana Leonard, Chinwe Lewis, Tyra Lewis, Jermaine Liburn, Jeremy Liburn, Alicia Maduru, Kitwan Maduru, Zelanda Maduru, Alia Malone, Timothy McLean, Ashley Miller, Letitia Mills, Don Andre Millwood, Shania Modeste, Shaquille Mendezi, Shania Monsanto, Shanice Morgan, Aaliyah Morris, Dylan Moses, Jada Moulton, Jamani Nathaniel, Miguel Nips, Shondi Niles, Azari Norman, Keisha O'Neill, Jared Olive, Jamari Ophelia, Kareem Otley, Raheem Otley, Malik Parker, Erichelle Paul, Ashley Penn, Shakira Penn, Rikosha Penn, Shakoy Penn, Royston Percival Jr., Jaikaran Passar, Kezia Pickering, Shanique Pierre, Ataka Pompey, Malik Potter, Jamelia Prentice, Ricardo Ragnar, Elfie Ramirez Alvarez, Celine Richards, Idrisia Richards, Shazar Richardson, Janiqua Riley, Catherine Rivera, Kedisha Rochester, Yanalis Rodriguez, Danrick Rouse, Hannah Gabrielle Ross, Nadia Solomon, Nikita Sampson, Revon Scatliff, Kimala Ketarni Seeley, Dinesh Sinarin, Chetram Shilshan, Adriel Singh, Selena Singh, Tijon Skelton McTavius, Kayana Skelton, Jareem Skerritt, Angelo Smith. Daniela Smith. Kiana Smith. Shamal Smith. Whitney Smith. Kamalawati Suku. Chanel Spencer. Steven Spencer. Rivon Sprague. Renata St. Helen. Akeem Stanley. Daquan Stevens. Kalik Stevens. Brittany Stout. Nicole Stout. Kiera Thomas. Tamaj Thomas. Tanisha Todd. Kwame Todman. Ronik Todman. Shamoy Todman. Abiola Trumpet. Jonte Trumpet. Rikoya Turnbull. Zoria Turnbull. Joy Victor. Shante Walter. Jokoy Walwin. Kevon Watson. Damani Williams, Malik Williams, Shane Winter, Felix Woolard Johnson. Graduates, please stand. Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillip, I present to you the graduating class of 2015.
As Acting Chief Education Officer, I confirm that these students have met the requirements as set out by the Ministry of Education and Culture, as mandated by the Education Act 2004 and the Education Amendment Act 2014. On behalf of the Government of the Virgin Islands and the Ministry of Education and Culture, I hereby declare that you are now graduates of the Elmore Stout High School. Symbolic of this major accomplishment, you may now turn your tassels. Premier, Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, Minister of Education and Culture, Honorable Myron V. Walwyn, platform guests, parents, guardians, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you the Elmore Stout High School graduating class of 2015. You may now toss your hats. Congratulations again, graduates of the Elmore Stout High School 2015. You may have your seats, please. I know this is an exciting time and we're going to try and wrap up in a few minutes. So at this point, I will invite to the podium valedictorian Miss Cretania Bruley to respond on behalf of the students.
Many of you sit here this evening, perhaps at this very moment, anticipating an exceptional speech from the valedictorian of the BVI's largest secondary school. Well, that may or may not happen. At the very least, I'll try my best. And as for you, the graduates, many of you have been dreading this moment all along because you're getting restless and hoping that I won't go past 5 minutes. Well, I'll try my best. Good evening. I acknowledge the protocol already established. Tonight, I'd like to be candid with you all, starting with the fact that most of you probably don't know me very well. And those of you who do would know that I'm rather out of the loop. So I won't be able to share many inside jokes, personal sentiments, or trending song lyrics with you, as most valedictorians would. Nonetheless, we've spent the last 5 years together, and from near or far, you've left an indelible mark on me. So allow me to speak from my heart, and perhaps by the end of my speech, we'll be a little better acquainted. Forgive me if I'm a little bit shaky, but public speaking has never been a strength of mine. In fact, let me tell you the story of my primary school graduation. Back in 2010, when I found out that I was going to be the valedictorian of my primary school, the news was a little bit bittersweet. Sure, being val was nice, but the thought of having to give a speech was terrifying. Deterred by the prospect of messing up in front of everyone, I contrived a clever way out of doing my speech. I begged my mother for permission to give up my title as valedictorian. And, of course, she said no. So I asked my father if we could go off island and miss graduation. But to no avail. Both resentful and apprehensive about having to do the speech, I procrastinated. And on that fateful graduation day, back in 2010, I was hardly prepared to deliver a rather poorly prepared speech. I approached the podium having solemnly come to terms with my perceived doom, and a miracle happened. The mic malfunctioned, and no one heard a word that I said. Looking back, I just couldn't believe my luck or my cowardice. It frustrated me to know that for all my scholastic achievements, I was unable to step out of my element and to perform a simple task due to my acute fear of failure. And unfortunately, that was how the majority of my educational career went. I stuck to myself and to my academics, all the while avoiding any challenges that came my way. I became a perfectionist, a skeptic, and a pessimist, believing that nothing was worth trying unless success was certain, that other aspirations were only dreams, and that persons who aspired otherwise were only dreamers. But today, I'm not the same as I was a few years ago. Daunted and anxious as I am, I'm not going to run away. Here I stand this evening giving a speech that I once swore I never would, and not because of a faulty microphone or because my public speaking skills have miraculously improved. It's because of you, the ESHS Graduating Class of 2015. It happened gradually. Throughout high school, whenever we were asked what we wanted to be in life, I would hear an interesting array of responses, from doctor, lawyer, educator, and engineer, to entertainer, photographer, sports star, and entrepreneur. I was bemused at how confident most of you were when answering the question. And being the skeptic and pessimist that I was, I would automatically think, how can you be so sure of yourself? How do you know that you can do it? My attitude remained while most of you, my classmates, pursued your interests with zeal. Over the course of time, I was intrigued to see your successes. Matches, tournaments, and contests were won. And I was amazed to see people of my age actively and fearlessly forging ahead, determined to succeed despite the risk of failure. I watched you pour your all into challenges, being tenacious, achieving goals and bearing failures. I began to realize that our generation had all the qualities that I was somehow convinced we lack. And all of you only accelerated from there. You sang, danced, acted, ran, cooked, debated, studied, worked, did whatever you could to get closer to your dreams. And though you may have stumbled and fallen and made mistakes and gotten hurt, you never gave up. You made it clear that nothing was going to stop you from achieving your goals. Not the people holding you back, not heartbreak or disappointment, not circumstances at home, not learning difficulties or financial struggle, not illnesses or losses, not failures or mistake, not anything. You endured and conquered all the tribulations set before you in order to get where you wanted to be and in order to get where you are now. I relinquished all of my skepticism. You had thoroughly convinced me that you were capable of doing anything at all that you put your minds to. And in doing so, you had also inspired me to follow your examples and to go forward in life without inhibition or without fearing hardship or failure, to persevere in order to succeed. You, the Elmore Stout High School graduating class of 2015, are proof of our generation's potential. And I am honored to be graduating today with the future educators, doctors, lawyers, engineers, photographers, entertainers, sports stars, entrepreneurs, and leaders of this country and this world. And given that you all have done so much for me, I figured that the least I could do for you was write you a speech that wasn't too terribly long. So I would like to conclude here with the thanks. I would first of all like to thank the Almighty God for his protection and guidance throughout these past 5 years and throughout our entire lives. For without him, none of this would be possible. I would also like to thank the parents, family members, and friends who have loved, supported, and guided us all along the way. I would like to thank our teachers for going above and beyond the call of duty to ensure our success, as well as the fifth form year ahead, our principals, and all the staff and faculty of the Elmore Stout High School for the instrumental roles they all played in the smooth running of our daily lives. Thank you especially to the government of the BVI, and particularly the Ministry and Minister of Education and Culture, for providing us with these educational opportunities. Finally, I'd like to give a personal thanks to my parents, Crichton and Dawn Bruley, and to my siblings, Crichton Jr., Crichton, and Crichtley, for their continued love and support. Graduates, now marks the end of one phase of our lives and the beginning of another. Should you ever be daunted by whatever lies ahead of you, just know that I believe in you. Just believe in yourselves and forge straight ahead. Just remember what you taught me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bruley, for your words and for encouraging your fellow graduates. Graduates, it's your turn to perform for us. It's time for you to do the school pledge and school song. Love the new version. It was nothing like that when I graduate. Love the remix to it. Give yourselves another round of applause, please. All right, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Elmore South High School and the graduating class of 2015, we wish to express thank you to many persons in the community. However, we wish to give special thank yous to B.I. Desi Serge, Mr. Theodore James, Assistant Secretary Protocol, Mr. Ernest Popeye Scatliff, Graduation Committee, Elmore South High School, One Stop Mall, Mrs. Patsy Lake, Darlin Designs, Top Priority Security Services, Fort Garden Center, Sport Complex Management, and Mr. Stephen Payne, H.L. Stout Community College, Management of the Sir Rupert Briarcliff Hall, BVI Government Facilities Department, Class of 1985, 1995, and 2005, Ministry of Education and Culture, the Parent-Teacher Association of the Elmore Stout High School, and once again, the faculty and staff of the Elmore Stout High School. Thank you for your contributions and your hard work. I will now invite to the podium Mrs. Cleopatra King de Freitas, future evangelist, to pronounce the benediction.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for being here with us today. We do not know what the future brings, but you do. So we pray for the confidence to go after your plans for these students. Father, as they become independent adults, help them to learn the secret of dependence on you. Give them a desire to know more about you, that whenever they face a circumstance that seems bigger than they are, they can call on you. Open their understanding that everything will not be painted in black and white. Remind them, Lord, that today is only a passage onto the next step in their lives. Father, the graduates have been equipped with basic knowledge, and now we pray that their hearts and spirits be equipped for successful living. Help them to desire your way and heavenly wisdom. Give them a discerning spirit and remind them that you are only a prayer away. May they always be willing to ask for help, advice, and support when needed. Open up their understanding to receive everything that was said to them today in a positive way. We also pray for tomorrow, Lord, and as you have led in the past, lead now into the future. Give the students focus and clarity and a calling from you to understand their purpose. May your blessings be theirs as they begin a new life full of joy and promise. As we leave this place, take us home safely or wherever we are intended to go. In your matchless name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the recessional.